Hello everyone, my name's Becky Toal, owner manager of Crowberry Consulting Ltd, and I'm here today with Brendan Mackey, managing director of Envirovox Ltd, and we're here to talk to you about our new Teachables course all around Internet of Things. So Brendan, tell us more about the Internet of Things Teachable course and what are the features and benefits of the course.
Absolutely. So this is an introductory course into Industry 4.0 and how it relates to ISO standards.
Yeah.
We start at the fundamentals, so no previous experience is needed, and we work all the way through our different standards, how they relate to Industry 4.0, all the kind of confusing acronyms, and work our way through that all the way through to data and how we collect data, collate it, and then display it for people.
So you've just said there's no prior knowledge is required, and there might be around 7 or 8 modules in the course.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit more for our listeners as to what those modules are?
Absolutely, yes. So we've got 8 modules. We start with an introduction into the course, explaining the layout. This will include interactive workshops. There'll be a chance to have a chat with obviously myself, with yourself and our partners Go Monitor Solutions as well, about how remote monitoring can benefit people in terms of reducing costs, reducing energy, and being compliant, of course, with ISO standards.
Perfect. Okay. So Brendan, you mentioned there different technologies and how these technologies can help businesses save money, save the planet, reduce the carbon footprint. But how exactly can these technologies work? Can you just elaborate a little bit more on that?
Absolutely. So we start with the fundamentals right on the front end, the sensors that you find all around the facility. And then we work our way backwards. So we look at the gateways and how we gather data through a gateway and bring it back to, say, a cloud platform or maybe a local platform. And we discuss the security behind that data, how we collect it, where it goes, all of those aspects that may be concerning and sometimes a little bit scary for people trying to modernize their facilities. In the consulting with myself and obviously with Crowberry and Go Monitor, we can look at specifically how that relates to ISO standards, and obviously we focus on backwards compatibility. So we don't go in and rip everything out. We replace what needs to be replaced in order to modernize the whole system.
Sounds amazing. Thank you. So Brendan, it looks like this Teachables course covers a lot in the 8 modules, but what about people that might not be tech savvy and they're new to this subject matter about Internet of Things, condition monitoring? What's in it for them?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because we do want to remove the kind of bafflement about all of this and how daunting it can be. So there is the opportunity to give us feedback about it and to get a response from us about it as well, to break down that barrier. Absolutely.
And technologically, you don't need to have much prior knowledge?
No previous knowledge is required. We start at the very fundamentals and work our way through in a very common sense, straightforward way.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So Brendan, what are the main features and benefits of this Internet of Things Condition Monitoring Teachables course?
Yeah, well, I mean, if people can educate themselves and we can empower them to do that, it will help them in reducing their carbon footprint. Now, obviously, for the companies themselves, it means that there's higher quality production going on, reduced emissions and reduced downtime as well, which can be massive cost savers, as well as improving their brand reputation. A lot of companies are now starting to go for net carbon zero or further,
what a great course for people to purchase. Obviously the link will be in the bottom of this YouTube video. Thank you very much, Brendan, for coming in and talking to us about the new Teachables course on Internet of Things and condition monitoring. Thanks very much.
My pleasure.